Hey yoga friends, I hope you are well. This is going to be a Vinyasa wake up yoga flow. So for those mornings where you wake up feeling a bit tired, a bit groggy, not your usual self, and you don't want to throw yourself straight into a power yoga flow, you just want something to ease you into some movement, get the blood flowing, get the breath flowing, get the muscles moving, all that good stuff. If you are new to this channel, I am Amy and I will be your yoga teacher for the day. If you are one of those lovely people who is here all the time and who always leaves lovely comments on my videos, then thank you for being back. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would be really grateful if you could take a second to do so. If you make it to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, then please give it a big thumbs up so that I know to make more like it, and any comments are always welcome in the comment box. Where else would you put them? You can also support me on Patreon if you would like to give a little bit of extra support to this channel. Enough chit chat from me. We will begin today standing, so bringing some energy straight into the body, and I'm aware that I've just chopped off my head, but it is still there, I promise. Starting off with some breath of joy, really going to bring some joy, some movement, some energy into the body. So we'll take 3 inhales, all one after another, and then 1 big exhale. When we breathe in, the arms will come up to the side, up, and then as we breathe out, we'll bend the knees, sweep the arms behind us, come into a fold. So sigh it out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep going. One more. Now stay in your fold. Hang around here for a few breaths. Knees can be as bent as feels good for you. Sway from side to side maybe. You could take hold of opposite elbows and swing around in a ragdoll. You could bend and straighten one leg at a time. Maybe wiggle the head from side to side. Just finding a little bit of free movement here. Starting to bring your awareness into any sensations in the body, any areas that feel particularly tight or tense that you need to give a little bit of extra care and attention to today. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Is it flowing in and out through the nose? I will encourage you to breathe through the nose throughout this practice if that feels good. Bring the awareness to your mind. You might be feeling a bit reluctant to engage with this practice. You might be unsure about whether you've got the energy. You might be distracted by things that you've got lined up to do today. No right or wrong answer, just noticing how you are feeling, just bringing some awareness to it. Just take 2 more breaths here, wiggling around. Maybe letting go of a little bit more tension with every exhale. If you're not already facing the front of the mat, turn to face it. Plant both hands on the earth, spreading through the fingers. Drop one knee down and then the other knee down, landing in a tabletop position. Stacking the shoulders over the elbows, over the wrists, spreading through all 10 fingers. Pressing the floor away, drawing the shoulders back, drawing the chest forwards, engaging through the core slightly, stacking the hips over the knees and finding 2 parallel lines with the shins. Just setting our foundation here in our tabletop position. Sometimes we just land straight here and then move immediately into our cat-cow. So just bring a little bit of awareness to this shape as we hold it for a few extra moments. Finding that nice long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Not collapsing through the belly and not rounding through the spine just yet. Staying nice and neutral. Now start to bring some movement, maybe inhaling to drop the belly and lift the chest, and exhaling to round through the spine. Deep breath in, soften the belly down, lift the heart forwards. Exhale, round the spine, draw the hips and the chin in towards one another. Inhale, point the tailbone up, shine the heart forward. Exhale, create that rainbow with the spine. Start to take some free movement here, maybe wiggling the torso around in circles, maybe pressing back to a child's pose and then waving it forwards into an upward facing dog. Maybe you make big movements, maybe you make small movements. Maybe come down for a puppy pose. I will encourage you to close the eyes here and just focus on how it feels rather than what it looks like. You don't have to be doing what I'm doing. If you're practicing with another person, you don't have to be doing what they're doing. How you move on one day might vary completely from how you moved yesterday and how you might move tomorrow. However you move, just trying to stay connected to your breathing. You might hear some clicks and pops as different parts of the body warm up, maybe the hips, maybe the shoulders. 2 more breaths here, having some little wiggles, some little free time, giving your body what it needs. As you are ready, come back through centre, reset that nice neutral foundation. On your next breath in, sweep the right arm all the way up to the sky. Bring the right hand into a fist. Start to take some circles with that wrist, going in one direction and going in the other direction. Release the fist, spread the fingers up towards the sky. Start to take big clockwise circles with that right arm, sweeping it towards the back, taking it down, forward, up. Nice big circles, mobilising that shoulder joint. Imagining your arm is like one of the hands on a clock face. One more breath in, sweep that arm all the way up to the sky. As you breathe out, thread the needle but come down to hover, sweeping the right arm under the left. Inhale, reach the arm high. Exhale, thread it through. Deep breath in, reach, imagine like you're trying to grab your favourite piece of fruit from a tree. Exhale, thread and hover. One more time, deep breath in, reach up. Deep breath out, thread through. This time come down onto right ear and right shoulder. Press the floor away with that left hand, thread the needle. Option here to inhale, sweep the left arm all the way up to the sky and then maybe hook that left hand around for the outside of the left hip, for the outside of the right hip, or maybe for the right inner thigh. Using that grip to help open that left side of the chest and the shoulder even more. Deep breaths into the left side of the body. Option to stay here, or if you want a little extra challenge, you can ground down through the right shoulder, lift the head to hover off the mat, so we're not putting any pressure on the head or neck. Maybe you start to hover the left toes off the mat, Maybe you start to sweep them up towards the sky. Just a little option for an extra challenge. And then bring that left knee back down, unwind, bring yourself back to your nice neutral tabletop position, reset those foundations. Inhale, sweep the left arm all the way up to the sky, hand comes into a fist, and we take some circles with that wrist going in both directions. And then spread the fingers wide like a starfish. Start to take some anti-clockwise circles with this arm. Once again, reaching for the back of the mat, down, forward, up, back. Nice big circles. Maybe noticing this side could potentially feel different from the other side. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. On your next breath in, reach that arm all the way up to the sky. On your next breath out, thread the needle and hover. Deep breath in, reach high. Deep breath out, thread the needle. 3 more times. Fill the lungs as you reach up. Empty the lungs as you twist through. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Deep breath in, reach up. Deep breath out, thread it through, come onto left ear and left shoulder, press the floor away with the right hand, maybe inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, maybe thread that hand around for the bind, just playing around, seeing where you land, where you end up, sending the breath into the right side of the body, maybe letting go of a little bit more tension as you breathe out. Option to stay here or to have a little challenge for your balance of shimmying that right leg away, keeping the head off the earth, starting to float that right leg up towards the sky, holding, shaking, breathing, and release, maybe gracefully, maybe not. Unwind yourself back into your tabletop position. Keep the hips stacked over the knees, start to walk the hands towards the top of the mat, sink the chest down towards the earth, puppy pose or melting heart pose, whichever name you call it. Find some movement here, maybe swaying the chest from side to side, maybe dipping one armpit down and then the other, maybe wiggling the hips. Maybe rolling the forehead from side to side. Plant the forearms down on the earth if they're not already. Start to slide the heart through in between the hands. Drop the hips, drop the thighs, landing in our sphinx pose. Inhale, grow tall, draw the shoulder blades down and towards one another as you pull the heart through. Take a look over the right shoulder, back towards the right toes. Come back through centre. Take a gaze over the left shoulder, back towards the left toes. Come back through centre. Option to stay in your sphinx or to press the floor away. Lift the elbows off the mat, coming into seal pose. Only if this feels okay on your lower back. If you would like to take it further, you could start to walk the hands closer towards the body, deepening into the back bend, but only if it doesn't cause any pinching or pain. We never want to compromise the integrity of the spine just for the sake of a certain shape. Option to take some little shoulder shimmies here, so wiggling the shoulders down towards the mat and then wiggling yourself back up again. Going back down and then going back up. Keep it flowing. Or you could work through some cobra waves here, softening down and then lifting back up. Just flowing up and down. Or maybe you find stillness here, whatever feels good for you. As you're ready, come back to centre, slide the hands back so that they're in line with the rib cage, lift them to hover off the mat, and then lift the chest off the mat. You might only lift a few centimetres, a few inches. Your back might be seriously working right now. That's absolutely a good thing. If you have an achy back tomorrow, you don't need to panic. Just like you would work any other muscle and it might feel a bit achy the next day, the same is true for our back when we work on strengthening it in our yoga class. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the elbows together, hold, 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 and then soften back down. You can drop the forehead onto the mat, you could drop one cheek down onto the mat. Take a little recovery breath. Come back through centre. Once again, lift the hands to hover, lift the chest to hover, stay here, or this time lift the feet to hover, keeping the feet in line with the hips, so don't let them splay out super duper wide, really engaging through the glutes and the lower back here. Can you lift a little bit higher? Squeeze everything up, squeeze everything in. Holding, 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 breathing. One more deep breath here. And release. If you dropped one cheek down, drop the opposite cheek down this time, or come back onto your forehead. Bring yourself to face back through centre. If you were on one side, we'll go for one more round. Lift those hands to hover, lift the chest to hover, lift the legs to hover. This time you could even further challenge yourself by reaching the arms straight out in front of you. Lift, lift, lift. Imagine yourself like Superman flying through the air. Breathe. You might be shaking. That's absolutely normal. It's a good thing. It means you're working hard and building strength. One more deep breath in. And breathe out, release. Stack one hand on top of the other. Create a little pillow to rest your head on. Side. Maybe windshield wipe the legs from side to side. Slide those hands back in line with the ribs, ground down through the knees, press yourself up through a tabletop and then back to a wide-legged child's pose. Bringing the knees wide, big toes to touch, sink the hips down towards the heels. Have a little wiggle. Maybe your hips and your shoulders are making some snaps, crackles and pops. As you draw a deep breath in, start to draw yourself upright, bringing the hands up towards the body, keeping the toes touching, keeping the knees wide. Bring the left hand behind the left hip, start to press the floor away, lift the hips, reach the right arm up and over behind you. Sit the hips back down, sweep that right hand to plant behind the right hip, left arm up and over, reach the left arm behind, open the chest. Now start to flow between each side, lifting the hips, opening the chest, and then dropping the hips down, sweeping it over, taking it to the other side, dancing camel. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you come through centre. Inhale over to the other side, exhale, take it down. One more on each side. And then drop yourself back through centre, start to walk the hands forward, tuck under the toes, lift the knees, press yourself up into a plank pose. Just like in our tabletop, we're stacking the shoulders over the elbows, over the wrists, finding one long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way to the heels of the feet. Start to rock your weight backwards and forwards, using the toes to propel you as you shift the weight into the wrists and then back again. Micro bend the elbows if you have a tendency to lock them out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wave the body back. Downward facing dogs. Downward facing dogs? Well, downward facing dog. I suppose I'm one downward facing dog and you're another downward facing dog, so there are multiple downward facing dogs. As we've been doing through our practice so far, find some free movement, find some wiggles, some shakes, some shimmies, some twisty twizzles, whatever is calling to you right now. First downward facing dog of the day, always a good one. Come back to your nice neutral downward facing dog. On your next breath in, come up onto the toes, bend the knees deeply, send the chest back towards the thighs. On your next breath out, either step, hop, walk, float, jump your way forward to the top of the mat. On your next breath in, press the hands into the shins, draw the shoulders back, draw the chest forwards. On your next breath out, descend back down into your forward fold. Bend the knees as you come all the way up to standing, straighten the legs at the top, reach the arms high. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, send the left arm forward and the right arm back, twisting over to the right hand side, keeping the hips nice and square towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, twist over to the other side, finding one long line of energy out through the fingertips. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, cactus, draw the elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, encircle the left wrist with the right hand. Take a side stretch over to the right hand side. Inhale, come back through center. Switching sides, encircling the right wrist, taking it over to the left. Keeping the right hip and the right shoulder in one line, so we're not rounding forwards or backwards. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back and then the left foot back, lower all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck under the toes, press up through a plank or a tabletop, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, make your way forward however you would like to get there. Deep breath in, Ardha Uttanasana. Deep breath out, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Fill the lungs as you reach high. Empty the lungs as you stretch over to the right hand side. Fill the lungs as you reach up. Empty the lungs as you stretch over to the left. Take a big inhale, reach for the sky. Take a big exhale, reach for the earth. Fill the lungs, flat back. Empty the lungs, plant the hands, step the left foot back and then the right foot back. Lower all the way down or halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, make your way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, twisting left. Deep breath in, grow tall. Deep breath out, cactus those arms, spread those fingers. Fill those lungs, reach high, empty the lungs, stretch to the right. Take a big breath in, reach up, and a big breath out, over to the left. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step, hop, jump, float, however you want to get back. Chaturanga, maybe all the way down, maybe halfway down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your next breath in, sweep the right leg up towards the sky, keeping the hips nice and squared, so noticing if the right hip is opening, trying to square it, even if that means the leg doesn't come as high. Bring the awareness into the shoulders. Notice if one shoulder is creeping up, likely the right shoulder. Can you keep it nice and level? Inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, shift the weight forwards. Draw that knee in. One more time. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, knee to nose. Tap the knee to the mat. Bring it back to the nose. To the mat. To the nose. To the mat. To the nose. To the mat. To the nose. Hold. Squeeze everything in. Step that foot to the outside of the right hand. Drop the back knee down. Have a little wiggle here in your lizard pose. You might roll onto the outside edge of that right foot and point the toes out at an angle. You might come down onto the forearms, taking whatever option feels good for you. Maybe take some circles with that hip, shimmying around, or maybe find stillness. If you are down on the forearms, come back up onto the hands. Option to stay here or to bend that left foot in towards the left glute. Sweep the right arm around behind you. Grab hold of that left foot. Start to draw it in towards the body. Maybe you just draw it in a few centimetres, maybe a few inches. Maybe that foot comes close towards the left glute. Find some energy through that left hand, so not just collapsing into the shoulder. Can you press the floor away, roll that ear away from that shoulder? Release the grip on the foot, pick up the back knee, swivel yourself onto the outside edges of both feet, dropping down into a revolved Skandasana. Facing the back of the mat, reach the right fingertips out behind you. Left hip is dropping down. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the right arm forward. Exhale, drop the hips, cactus the right arm. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, lower and cactus. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drop it down. Now press the floor away, lift the hips, reach the right arm forward, and then step the right foot to meet the left, coming into a side plank on the left hand side, reaching the right arm towards the front of the room. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze the right elbow and the left knee in towards one another. Right elbow and the right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze everything in. Hold, hold, hold. Now extend that arm forward and step the right foot behind the left leg. Press yourself into your wild thing. Coming onto the right tiptoes. Reaching the right arm forward. And just like we did in our tabletop, start to take some big circles with that right arm. One more time, and then the next time you circle around, Circle your whole body back into a plank pose, holding here, and then lower all the way down or halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. On your next breath in, sweep the left toes up towards the sky, keeping the hips nice and neutral, keeping the shoulders nice and neutral, using the strength of that left leg to lift it higher. So that left leg is definitely nice and engaged. We're not just passing it, we're not just flinging it passively up towards the sky. Another deep breath in here. And breathe out, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, squeeze everything in. One more time, inhaling. Exhaling, squeeze it in, hold. Tap the knee to the mat, to the nose, to the mat, to the nose, to the mat, to the nose, and squeeze. Hold, hold, hold. And then step that foot to the outside of the left hand. Drop the back knee down. Left toes can point out at an angle. You can roll onto the outside edge of the left foot. Having a little wiggle in your lizard. Maybe you come down onto the forearms. Maybe noticing that this side could potentially feel different from the other side. I need to come up with a yoga pose called leopard pose, because then I can do it in this outfit and be a leopard, looking like a leopard. Should we just invent one? If you want to come up with a leopard pose, comment what you think it would be. If you're on the forearms, press yourself back up onto the hands, stay here or bend the right heel in towards the right glute, sweep the left arm around to grab hold of that foot and start to draw it in towards the body. Maybe it draws in a little bit, maybe it draws in a lot, maybe it feels completely different on this side. If you've got the foot, release it, plant the left hand back under the left shoulder, pick up the back knee, roll onto the outside edge of both feet, sweep the left arm back, revolve Skandasana. On your next breath in, lift the hips, reach the left arm forward. On your next breath out, drop the hips, cactus the arm. 2 more times, inhaling, exhaling. Last one, deep breath in, deep breath out, lower and cactus. Now we inhale, lift, reach the arm forward, step the left foot to meet the right, coming into a side plank on the other side, reaching the left arm towards the front of the room. Inhale here, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to extend, exhale, squeeze everything in. One more time, inhale. Exhale, squeeze everything in, hold, breathe. Now extend and then drop. Is it the left? It is the left toes behind the right leg for Wild Thing. Pressing the chest up towards the sky. And then start to take those big circles with that left arm. Synchronizing your movements with your breath. The next time that left arm circles around towards the earth, spin yourself back into your high plank position. Work your way through your version of a vinyasa. Inhale, coming into your back bend. Exhale, waving the body back into your downward facing dog. Drop the knees down, come to sit yourself on the shins, taking a moment of rest, interlacing the fingers and starting to take some circles with the wrists. Going in one direction And then switch directions. Press the palms to face away from you, fingers are still interlaced, and then reach the arms all the way up overhead. Maybe take it into a little baby back bend here, gazing up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, point the fingers into Kali Mudra, index fingers pointing forwards, thumbs across, round through the spine. As you breathe in, press the palms up towards the sky, open through the chest. As you breathe out, Kali Mudra, round through the spine. Keep flowing like this, inhaling, opening the chest, exhaling, rounding the spine. Let's do one more. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come back through centre, unwind the hands, give the arms a little shimmy, a little shake out. Maybe you flick the fingers, flicking away anything that you want to let go of, any feelings that are not serving you at this moment, any distractions. Just imagine flicking it all away, letting everything go. And if you feel totally silly right now, that's absolutely normal. When you do stuff like this all the time, you don't feel silly in the end. As you are ready, plant the hands back at the top of the mat, tuck under the toes, step yourself back into your plank pose, wave the body back, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, sweep the right toes all the way up to the sky. On your next breath out, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. One more time. Deep breath in, deep breath out, tap, hold, slide the right knee down to the left wrist, back up to the elbow, down to the wrist, to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow, and then kick the right leg out to the side, coming onto the outside edge of the right foot, coming onto the inside edge of the left foot, lifting the left arm up towards the sky, fallen triangle. Inhale, lift the hips even higher. Exhale, drop the hips towards the earth. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, tap everything down. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Now inhale, lift yourself back up. Plant the left hand down. Draw the right knee into the nose. Step the foot through in between the hands. Spin the back heel down onto the floor. Front heel in line with the back arch. Windmill yourself up into your warrior two. Take a moment to check in with your alignment here. Is that front heel stacking over the front ankle? Are you stacking your head over your heart, over your hips? Are your arms parallel to the floor? Are you sending energy through the fingertips? Are you pressing through the outside edge of that back heel? Are you breathing? On your next breath in, straighten that front leg, press the palms together overhead. Exhale, sink it back down, warrior two. Inhale, fly the warrior. Exhale, sink it back down. One more time. Inhale to fly. Exhale, sink it back down. Now inhale, reverse warrior, reaching the right arm up and over, sliding the left hand down that left leg. And then exhale, side angle, bringing either the right elbow onto the top of the right thigh, reaching that left arm forward, or bringing the right fingertips or the right hand down towards the earth. Swiveling the chest up towards the sky rather than rounding it down towards the earth. Option to play around with a bind here, maybe tucking that left hand behind the back body, reaching it for the right leg. Maybe finding a full bind, clasping the hands behind that right thigh, grabbing opposite fingers, opposite wrists, opposite arms. If you've got the bind, unwind, reach the left arm up, reach the right arm down, spin yourself back into your warrior two, and then straighten the front leg. Bring the hands to the hips, give the hips a little shimmy shake out, giving the legs a little moment of rest and relaxation. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Start to bend back into that front knee, reach the arms back into your warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms, frame the foot, pick up the back heel, step it back to a plank, work through your version of a vinyasa. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, sweep the left toes high. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, tap and squeeze. One more time, deep breath in, deep breath out. Hold here, take the knee to the wrist, back to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow. And then step that left foot to the outside of the right hand, come onto the outside edge of the left foot, come onto the inside edge of the right foot, fallen triangle. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to dip the hips down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. One more time, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Now lift the hips, plant the right hand down, draw the left knee in towards the nose, step that foot through. Swivel the back heel down, check in with the alignment of the feet, and then windmill your way up into your warrior two. Checking in with all those points of alignment, sinking down into that front leg, breathing. One more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. Inhale, fly the warrior, straighten the leg. Exhale, sink it back down. Inhale, fly. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, fly the warrior, reach the arms up. Exhale, open the arms, sink into that leg. Now inhale, find the reverse warrior. Exhale, your version of extended side angle. If that hand is on the earth, try not to collapse all your weight onto it. Maybe see if you can hover that hand for a second and then place it back down. Option to take a bind around that leg, maybe a half bind, maybe a full bind. Always working to keep that chest nice and lifted, nice and open. If there was a light attached to your chest, it would be illuminating the side of the wall rather than illuminating the floor. If you've got the bind, unwind, right arm up, left arm down, come into your warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms, frame the front foot, step it back to plank, work through your version of a vinyasa. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, wave yourself forward into a high plank, drop the right forearm down and then the left forearm down. You can plant the hands on the earth or you can interlace the hands. Roll onto the outside edge of the left foot, dip the left hip down, come back through centre, roll onto the outside edge of the right foot, dip the right hip down, come back through centre. Take it over to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. One more each side, to the left, to the right, come back through centre, press the floor away, hold, hold, hold. Now keeping the arms exactly as they are, start to lower the chest down towards the floor, press it back up, lower it down, press it back up. So we're protracting and retracting the shoulder blades, strengthening the scapula, strengthening our core for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the belly down, drop the thighs down, plant both forearms on the earth for Sphinx pose. Landing where we began. Well, not exactly where we began, but we did this close to the start of the class. Just like we did then, we draw the shoulders back and we draw the heart forwards. Gaze over the right shoulder, back towards the right foot. Come back through centre. Gaze over the left shoulder, back towards the left foot. Come back through centre. Stay here or press the floor away. Lift the elbows off the mat. Maybe walk the hands closer towards you for seal pose. Whatever shape you are in, lower yourself all the way down onto the belly, slide the hands so they're in line with the ribs, press up into your tabletop position, draw the right knee in towards the right wrist, left heel, the right heel in towards the left hip, shimmy yourself into your pigeon. I would advise against shimmying the shin towards the front of the mat. I would encourage you to keep it pointing in towards that left hip. That will protect the knee. You can fill any gaps between your hips and the floor using cushions, blocks, props, blankets, anything you have nearby. For a little bit of spine strength here, reach the arms up to the sky. Maybe find a little baby back bend, only if it feels good. Now sweep the arms towards the back of the mat, hinge the body forward. Inhale, lift the chest, arms stay reaching back. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Now exhale, lower. Bring the head to stack on top of the hands. Softening in for a few moments in our sleeping pigeon. Take a deep breath in, start to press yourself back to an upright position, roll onto the outside edge of that right hip and then swing the left leg around in front of you, but keep it hovering, maybe, a little bit of mobility. Can you swing that left leg straight out behind you? Keep it hovering. Can you swing it back in front and behind? One more time, swing it in front and then this time place it down. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of that left leg. Take a deep breath in, reach both arms all the way up to the sky. Take a deep breath out, fall down over that left leg. Thinking about reaching the chest forwards rather than thinking about reaching it down. So keeping lots of length through the spine even as we fold. Keeping the toes of the left foot flexed back towards your face. Pressing the back of the left leg down towards the earth. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Draw a deep breath in as you draw yourself back upright. Cross over the ankles, bring the hands onto the feet and start to rock yourself forwards and backwards, building up a little bit of momentum, and then either coming back up to your tabletop or planting the hands, working through one last vinyasa if you fancy it. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then drop back down onto the knees. Have a little wiggle before we move on to the other side, bringing left knee in towards left wrist, left heel in towards the right hip. Drop the hips down for our pigeon pose. Having a little moment to strengthen. First, we reach the arms all the way up to the sky like we're holding a big beach ball, or holding the sun if you prefer that analogy. And then reach the arms back, hinge the chest forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower and hover. 3 more. Deep breath in, lift. Deep breath out, hover. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 1. Exhale, soften over that leg. Stack the hands. Settle in for some deep breaths in your sleeping pigeon. Once again, maybe noticing any differences between this side and the other side. Taking it to the edge of the stretch in your body on this side. As you are ready, draw yourself back up, take a deep breath in, and then a little bit of mobility. Swing that right leg out in front of you, keep it hovering, and then kick it out behind, keep it hovering. Swing it forwards, and swing it back. One more time, take it forwards, take it backwards, and this time we take it forwards, we plant that leg, bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, get really, really, really tall. Exhale, reach forward, 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 and then we soften down. Settling into our Janu Sirsasana. Keeping that right leg nice and active. As you are ready, press the floor away, stack head, heart, hips, bring the sole of the right foot to meet the left, let the knees drop out wide, bring the hands onto the feet or onto the ankles, draw the chest up, draw the shoulders down, and then maybe start to hinge yourself forward, pressing the elbows into the thighs or into the knees, Baddha Konasana. You can open up the soles of the feet or you can keep them pressing together, whatever feels better in your body. Inhale, big breath in, come back upright, bring the knees to point up towards the sky, plant the soles of the feet on the earth, maybe shimmy your bum down towards your heels, reach those arms forward, and then slowly, with control, lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest when you get there, have a little wiggle from side to side. Massaging the lower spine, maybe move the legs around in circles, whatever feels good. Now start to wrap the right leg over the top of the left, maybe find the single or the double wrap, and then let the knees drop over to the left hand side for an eagle twist. You could bring the left hand onto the legs, you could extend the right arm out to the side, trying to bring both shoulder blades in contact with the earth. You might need to lift the chest and then drop the right shoulder blade down and then the left shoulder blade down. Finding lots of nice open space to send that breath into. As you are ready, unravel yourself, switch the cross of the legs, left leg over, single or double wrap, and then drop those knees over to the right hand side. Take whatever arm variation you would like, lift the chest, draw the left shoulder blade down, then the right shoulder blade down. Gaze wherever is comfortable. Come back through centre, unwind, one final squeeze, and then any other movements that are calling to you. Maybe a happy baby, bringing the hands to the inside or the outside edges of the feet, whatever you prefer. You could bend and straighten one leg at a time. You could straighten both legs at a time. I cannot do that, there's a wall in my way. Any other little wiggles, little jiggles, whatever you fancy, before making your way into your final resting shape. That could be the conventional Shavasana shape with the legs out long. You could come into a constructive rest pose with the knees falling together and the feet planted on the edges of the mat. You could come into a Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together, the knees dropping out wide. Whatever shape you will feel comfortable in, for a few minutes of stillness and silence. Before we settle into silence, just take another moment to scan the body for any tension it is still clinging onto. And can you just gently encourage it to let go of that tension, to release. Feeling the surface beneath you, supporting you so that you can be soft. You can relax as you have that nice supportive foundation. Bring the awareness to the breath. Has the quality of the breath changed since the start of the class? Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Letting it flow wherever it wants to go. Finally, checking in with your mind. Has your mind shifted since the start of the practice? Again, it might have not. No right or wrong, just noticing. Potentially you might feel more calm or steady, or maybe some frustration came up in that class. Again, just noticing. And now settling in for some stillness, which is just as valuable as the movement part of our practice. Letting all the benefits of that class distribute throughout our entire being, throughout our mind, our body, our soul. Letting everything integrate before we move back into the rest of our day. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please do so. If you are ready to move on, then just start to bring gentle movements back to the body, maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe circling the ankles and the wrists, maybe taking a big stretch all the way from head to toe. And then you can roll over onto one side before pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep the eyes closed for these last few moments. Take a deep breath in through the nose and then sigh it out through the mouth. Thank you so much for choosing to share your practice with me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, like I said, I would love any comments, any likes, subscribing to my channel, checking out my Patreon. In the rest of your day, I hope that you think peaceful thoughts. I hope that you speak peaceful words, and I hope that you feel peace in your heart. From my heart to yours, lots of love and thank you.